Alright, so this is my Darkness Dragon World deck. I'm currently using whatever is currently available. I hope they create some more support, more monsters to this world. It definitely has a lot of potential. It's pretty strong, or broken, whichever way you want to call it. I do like the concept. I like darkness, so the idea of a dark version of Dragon World is pretty cool. Alright, so this is Black Dragon Death Gracia. Has a spirit attack, which is when an opponent's monster is destroyed by with this card's attack, deal 1 damage to your opponent. I love that because I've been wanting burn effects. I wanted the ability to, no matter what I do, my opponent will take damage. So I can reduce them from 10 to 0 in a matter of a couple turns, right? So this is pretty good. The fact that I can like link attack, kill something, and then deal 1 damage. That's always good, especially if it's on top of the fact that I deal crit damage on itself. So essentially I'm dealing two damage. I mean, dealing crit plus damage. So that's pretty cool. This is Death Gaze Dragon. Call cost, pay 1 gauge. Has spirit attack. When an opponent's monster is destroyed with this card's attack, deal 2 damage to your opponent. Now this one, same thing as this thing. The only difference is this one deals 2 damage, which is awesome. And it's pretty good. 6k power, 1 crit, 1000 defense. Of course, I like the idea of my monsters to have higher defense, but work with what you can, right? I wish they made a card that gives power boost to the defense, where you can power up the defense of all your monsters. You know what I mean? Because we got Battlefield Military Band, which is nice to give power boost to the attack, but I could use, most monsters that I play with have high attacks and low defense, so I would like to give it more defense. This is Death Ruler Burial. These names, just like, this is Death Dragon and this is Dragon. This is Death Ruler. Combine them together, you got Dragon Ruler, right? So it definitely reminds me a little bit of the Dragon Rulers from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you play the game, you understand what I mean. This is Death Ruler Burial. Like I said, its effect, Hidden Shadow. This card can attack your opponent even if there is a monster in your opponent's center. So what it sounds like, it's a direct attack. So it's a 2 crit that can attack your opponent even if he has monsters. So it's like he's going to have to play like an attack negating effect. So this is 2 crit that can come at your opponent. So if there's a way to add more crits to your monster, you can deal a lot of damage that your opponent can't block with their monsters. They have to block with spells. So we're definitely waiting to see if they add that into this deck, this world, where you can add crits to your monsters. Something similar to this, because I would like that. I mean, that will also be a good thing. A card like this that gives crits. All your monsters get 1 critical extra damage. It's like, oh, that'd be nice. Death Ruler Gallows. Call cost, pay 1 gauge. Hidden Shadows. It can attack you if your opponent has a monster in the center. Ability name. When this card deals damage to your opponent, you gain your life. Gotta like that. When this card deals damage to your opponent, gain 1 life, and it can attack directly. So it's a 2 crit direct attack, and you gain a life every time you do that. So your opponent's life goes down by 2, yours goes up by 1. Yeah, can't hate those results. I would have been cool with it doing 1 crit. Like, it would make sense. 1 damage to your opponent, his life goes down by 1, yours go up by 1. But 2, I ain't arguing. Shit, yeah. lose more life than me. This is Bloody Moon Dragon. Looks, the artwork for these cards are really awesome, by the way. Spirit attack, of course, when an opponent's monster is disrupted with this card's attack, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So it's a 7k 2 crit, 1000 defense. So these are pretty strong monsters. So it'd be nice to have a way of adding to the defense, so that way they can take full advantage of their ability of killing things and dealing damage. This is a 4k 2 crit, 3000 defense. It's a size 2. The other one was also size 2. Forgot to mention that. So now we're in the size 2 category right now. Death Ruler Blix T, I guess. Call cost, pay 2 gauge to summon this bad boy. He has hidden shadow, so that's pretty good. 2 crits, hidden shadow. He has double attack. Once per turn, this card may stand after it attacks. So with the cost of 2 gauge to summon this bad boy, you can attack your opponent directly and deal 2 crit, and then stand, and then attack again and deal 2 crit. Because it's not like you lose the ability to attack your opponent directly with the hidden shadow effect when you stand for the second time. So that's 4 crit off of 1 monster. So I love that. And they were smart to make the size 2, because they made a size 1 that would be broke sauce. They made it a size 2. Man, they made a size 1 of this. Man, that's, what's that? Size 1, let's say it's a crit 1, so that's 6 crit in 1 turn, 6 damage in 1 turn. Anyway, continuing on. Wait, I have this, let me see. This, okay, here's a size 1 that deals 2 crit, so it's not even a problem. So basically you summon Death Ruler Burial along with Death Ruler Blix Stick. And there you go, you'll deal 6 damage in 1 turn. So alright, so I guess you don't necessarily need the ability to attack twice. This was just cool that it did. So this is 4 crit damage right there. This is 2 crit when you combo it. Alright, this is Death Ruler Rear Kolakos. I can't pronounce it. Call cost, pay 1 gauge and put the top card of your deck into this card's soul, which is good because that means it has soul guard, and then it also has hidden shadow. So it's a 3000 2 crit size 2 with the ability to attack your opponent directly for 2 crit, right? And it has soul guard, so you maybe point try to use a card to destroy it, so that way they won't take the 2 damage. It's unblockable. He'll be able to survive with soul guard effect, so you gotta love soul guard. Makes your opponent work even harder. And then it's the fact that it's 2 damage there. Can't argue that. Of course I do like this one a little bit more, mainly because I like the ability to deal the 4 damage. But soul guard is awesome. For the size 3, an 8k attack and defense with 2 crits. Black Dragon Deantis. Call cost, pay 3 gauge. Spirit attack. When an opponent's monster is destroyed with this card's attack, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Obviously. It would have been cool if they made it like 3 damage. Because he's a size 3 and it costs 3 gauge. It would have been nice when you kill something, it deals 3 damage instead. But beggars can't be choosers, right? Midnight Shadow. It's a counter spell, and you can only cast the card during an attack on your opponent's turn. If it is not a link attack, if the attack is coming at you is not a link attack, you can nullify the attack. So gotta have them good defense, especially since your monster's got low defense. You gotta block them, protect them long enough for them to do what they do. Especially you definitely want to block him, Death Ruler Blix, because he'll deal 4 damage guaranteed every turn. So you definitely want to guard him. Good thing. It's a decent defense. 3000 is decent. It's not the best, but it's you can work with it. Normally I don't like gauge cards, gauge accelerating cards, but this deck does require a considerable amount of gauges to get all the really good toys on the field, right? So this helps. It's a counter, so you could also play it during your opponent's turn. It's technically no need, because it's not like any of these monsters' effects. It's not like there's an effect that you need a gauge to play during your opponent's turn, so obviously it's just play it in your turn. But they made it a counter, whatever. That counter aspect might come in handy, but this lets you put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge. So right there's 2 gauge off of 1 card play. If you have 2 of these, boom, that's 4 gauge, which means you can summon Black Dragon deities with 3 gauge, right? And then you use 1 gauge to play the set spell, Battlefield Military Band, and give 1,000 boost to your already powerful AK monster. So if you have 9,000, 8,000 defense, with the ability that when you destroy something, your opponent takes some damage. I would prefer him to have been a direct attacker, but we'll see what happens with the other grade 3s they create for this world. Hopefully to make more, because I definitely would like to replace him, or at least a grade 3 with some soul charge or double attack. Double attack and the ability to attack directly, like this awesome little size 2 right here. That would be lovely, but maybe 2 broken, I guess. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Of course, I already mentioned Battlefield Military Band. Of course, you have more than 1 and the effect stacks. Burning Bow, pay 2 gauge to equip this, and you can attack with this card even if there's a monster in the center zone. And of course it comes in handy if you want to use it for link attacks. It's essentially a 2,000 boost. A lot of power in this deck. And buddies don't really matter too much to me, so I like using Actor Knight's High Priestess because I really like the card. She's adorable. So I just have her in my buddy zone to take up the space necessary. And of course, the Darkness Dragon World flag, because without it, you can't play the deck, right? And this is the end of the deck profile.